Hello everybody, this tutorial shows how to replace a timing belt as well as the accessories belt and their associated pulleys on a petrol engine from Peugeot Citroën's car. In this case, this is a 1.8 liter engine. The engine code is EW7G and it's a variant after 2004. Ce tutoriel est aussi disponible en français, voir le lien dans les commentaires. Let's talk about the parts to be changed. On the timing sides we have the timing belt, the tensioner pulley, the damper pulley and crankshaft sprocket holding screw, the idler pulley, and the water pump. On the accessories side we have the accessories belt, the tensioner pulley, the idler pulley holding screw, and the idler pulley itself. Let's talk about the timing tools. Some special tools are needed to lock the camshafts and the crankshaft to the correct position. The green ones are not so useful, but they are supplied with the toolkits, so we are going to use them. But the red ones are mandatory, especially the flywheel pin gauge. The model on which we are going to do the job is a 2004 Xara Picasso. First, unplug the battery. The positive plug is in the engine compartment. Normally, we must remove the negative plug, but the battery is under the driver's seat. I know, I showed the wrong example. As we will change the water pump, first we need to drain the coolant network. To do so, you have to release the spring collar and then unplug the lower radiator's coolant hose. Let bleed the coolant in a jug and throw it away in the appropriate place. Loose the drain screw to create an air leak. With a flat screwdriver or a homemade tool, pop out the plastic fastener and then remove the lower mud guard. With a spanner, release the tensioner pulley. You have to turn counterclockwise. After that, you will be able to remove the accessories belt. Remove the fuel line from the upper timing belt cover. It blinks in red. With an X key, remove the timing belt cover. The red blinking screw is really difficult to unscrew because it's just in front of an air conditioning pipe. Now you have a view on the timing belt. The crankshaft timing position is done on the flywheel. You have a big hole on the lower engine case just behind the intermediate drive shaft, here blinking in red. Take your shoulder timing tool and put it in. Turn the crankshaft clockwise by the damper pulley screw until the timing tool's upper face is on the same level than the engine case. Now the flywheel is locked in the correct timing position. With the two smaller timing pins, you can lock the camshafts. There are absolutely no marks on the timing belt, as well on the camshaft sprockets. So, with a pencil, do some marks. A equal air intake and E equal exhaust. Make also an arrow to show the belt turning direction, here clockwise on this kind of engine. When the flywheel and the camshafts are locked into the timing position, you can unscrew the damper pulley. It is tightened with street locker, so use an extension bar to unscrew it, because it is very stiff. Now remove the damper pulley and make marks on the crankshaft itself, the crankshaft sprocket, and the engine case, here blinking in red. So remove the lower timing belt cover with a wrench, loose the tensioner pulley screw, and then with an X key release the tensioner pulley. You can remove the timing belt as well as the tensioner pulley. Beware! The crankshaft is freewheeling. It means that it can spin around the crankshaft output. There is no Woodworth key to hold it onto the crankshaft. It is held in place by the damper pulley pressure. So if it is not correctly tightened, the crankshaft sprocket will slip and blow your engine in the same time. Remove the timing belt idler pulley. Then the accessories belt idler pulley. Remove the tensioner pulley. Remove bolts and studs of the water pump. It's a little bit tricky because there is no space. Here we have a view of the water pump intake coolant pipe and the black flow hole on the right lower engine case. Here are the water pump holding stud plates. We need to remove those studs to drop down the water pump. Here is the accessories belt kit. So we have the new tensioner pulley, so we have to put back the belt tensioner roller. All those parts should be tightened to some specific torque, but the space between the engine and the car body is so small that it is nearly impossible to use a dynamometric wrench. The water pumps. The old is black and the new one is silver. Put back the water pump in its place, afterwards the studs, then tie the bolts in an homogeneous manner to be sure to press the water pump rubber gasket correctly on the engine case. Here is the timing belt kit. Do the marks from the former timing belt to the new one. You must count the teeth, as the old timing belt might be elongated because of the whirl. Afterwards, put the new idler pulley. it's done. And then the new tensioner pulley. We are going to use the special timing tools to put the tensioner roller in such a way that we will be able to place the timing belt. The cylindrical tool has a pin here blinking in red, and this pin must be against the tensioner pulley index here blinking in green. Turn the tool clockwise until the index is under a rectangle hole which belongs to the tensioner roller. Then plunge the rod, blinking in green, in the rectangle so that the index can be held by the tool. Once the rod in position, you can remove the cylindrical tool from the roller. Here is another close-up picture. Be sure that the crankshaft sprocket is in front of the marks that you have done previously. The clips allow us to hold the timing belt with the V mark on the crankshaft sprocket mark. Wrap the timing belt around the idler roller, then around the air intake camshaft sprocket, afterwards the exhaust camshaft sprocket, then around the water pump sprocket, and finally around the tensioner pulley. Remove the exhaust camshaft timing pin. Put back the lower timing belt cover. Screw back the damper pulley with a 44 Nm torque, which means more or less 32.5 foot-pound torque. Then tighten it with an extra 53 angle. With an X key, place the tensioner pulley index, here in red, in front of the tensioner pulley notch, shown by the arrow. Remove a flywheel timing tool as well as the air intake timing rod. Then make 10 turns clockwise with the crankshaft. Check the timing by placing back the air intake timing rod and check if the tensioner roller index is still in front of the notch. Mount back the accessory belt, the lower mudguard, with the plastic fastener, put back the coolant hose, put the sprinkler into position, put back the upper timing belt cover, and do not forget to clip back the fuel line on the cover. Plug back the battery wire and fill the coolant network. Start the engine and check the coolant level. This tutorial is dedicated to skillful handymen. As you can see, you'll need tools, patience, and place to do this. Of course, doing this job by yourself will save you a lot of money, but keep in mind that it might be risky. If you have any questions, please use comments and do not hesitate to rate this tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you next time.